Yay, it says I'm live. All righty. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for October 26th. October 26th is the 289th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 300th in leap years, with 66 days remaining to the end of the year. Yesterday's word was hypoplasia, so I thought today we could look at hyperplasia. Hyperplasia is a noun of which the simplest definition is an abnormal increase in the number of cells. A more involved explanation of the word hyperplasia would be an abnormal increase in the volume of a tissue or organ caused by the formation and growth of new normal cells. This increased cell production in a normal tissue or organ takes place in normal tissue or organ, but may be a sign of abnormal or precancerous changes. This word comes to us from ancient Greek roots, hyper, which means over, as in too much, and plasis, Plasis, which means formation. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. Ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with others. Unfortunately, when we're live, we don't get to have outtakes. They stay right in the body of the video. Yes, there's a link in the show notes to my This Day in History playlist. You'll find that in the show notes. And then once the live is done and the video renders, I'll put a link up in the, the iCard up there in the corner. All righty. I think that's all the administrative stuff I need to cover. So with that, we're going to start when Charles V was crowned as Holy Roman Emperor on October 26th, 1520. On October 26, 1689, Austrian General Silvio Piccolomini burned down the city of Skopje in Macedonia to try to end the cholera epidemic they were experiencing at the time. Interestingly, he himself contracted cholera and died shortly thereafter. The First Continental Congress adjourned in Philadelphia on October 26, 1774. The Erie Canal opened on October 26, 1825, allowing direct passage from the Hudson River to Lake Erie. This is the birthday of a woman named Abby Aldrich Rockefeller, born on October 26, 1874. She was, of course, married into the Rockefeller family, but she also founded the Museum of Modern Art, also known as the MoMA in New York City. Abby lived to the age of 73. This is the birthday of author Napoleon Hill, born October 26, 1883. I was rather surprised to learn that it was that long ago. He was a best-selling self-help book writer, best known for his book Think and Grow Rich, in which we can read about how desire, faith, and persistence can propel one to great heights if we can suppress negative thoughts and focus on long-term goals. It might sound simplistic, but I think there are some useful principles to study and follow in there. Napoleon Hill lived to the age of 87. King Oscar II recognized the dissolution of the union between Norway and Sweden on October 26, 1905. This is the birthday of American singer Mahalia Jackson, born October 26, 1911. What a voice and style she had. She came to be known as the Queen of Gospel. I found a link and placed it in the show notes for you. There's lots of Mahalia Jackson that you can find on YouTube, but I just found one little sample for you to listen to. She lived to the age of 60. The first electric generator at Hoover Dam went into full operation on October 26, 1936. This is the birthday of actress Jacqueline Smith, born October 26, 1945. Perhaps best known as Kelly Garrett in the Charlie's Angels TV series, she did go on to be in many other TV shows and movies. Ms. Smith turns 75 in 2020. This is the birthday of Pat Sajak. Yes, Pat Sajak, born October 26, 1946. He's worked as a disc jockey, a weatherman, a talk show host, but is perhaps best known as the host of the TV show Wheel of Fortune. He's had some pretty scary health issues in the last few years, but as of the time that I conducted the research for today's version of This Day in History, he is still alive and turns 74 in 2020. This is Hillary Clinton's birthday. She turns 73. This is the birthday of Canadian actor and producer Tom Cavanaugh, born October 26, 1964. He's acted on stage, television, and in movies and turns 57 in 2020. The last natural case of smallpox occurred in Somalia on October 26, 1977. The World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention consider this date to be the anniversary of the spectacular success of vaccination. This is the birthday of American actor and producer John Heder, born October 26, 1977. Loved him in Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, he's been in plenty of other movies and television shows and turns 43 in 2020. United States passed the USA Patriot Act into law on October 26, 2001. Interestingly, USA Patriot is what is known as a backronym. As we've discussed before, an acronym is a word formed from the initial components of a longer name or phrase, usually using individual initials or letters, as in NATO for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or EU for European Union, EU for the European Union. A backronym, though, is an acronym that is assigned to a word that existed prior to the invention of the backronym. That said, USA Patriot is a backronym that stands for Uniting and Strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. I didn't know that before today's research. Anyway, this looks like it's going to be a short one. That's all I have for you today. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. As always, again, links to my research are included in the show notes, along with a link to the playlist for this Day in History series. I always put a synopsis in my text here. I'm not going to read that out because we just talked about all of them, but it'll be in the show notes. Anyway, I guess we're right at the end of things here. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with others. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. And now we go look for the thank you very much button. Yesterday, it cut off kind of before the, the recording of later was cut off early. So hopefully this one will be complete. Here we go. It always asks, are you sure you want to end your stream? Yeah.